Attention! Go!
Clean start by both crews. Leander Club on the left-hand side on the Berkshire station, and on the right-hand side it's the men from Oxford University. And there is the stroke of the Leander crew, Ewan Hadfield. He won a medal in the Tokyo Juniors, where he stroked the men's 8 to a bronze medal, held in Tokyo. It was a trial for the Olympic course back in 2019. So he's rode on the Sea Forest Waterway, knows what it's like. And we've come out the islands and we are being treated to a barnstormer of a contest in this first 300 or 400 metres.
Wow, what a start. Love this.
When you are that close in a race like this, do you start thinking, why aren't we leading? Or do you just go into what you're doing? Do you have any time to think about the other crew?
It's funny, isn't it? Because in rowing, you can't affect the other crew. if you can just do what you're doing and concentrate on your start process, that's all you can do. But actually here at Henley, that's flipped on its head, because it's so tactical, it's so one-on-one, and I think you can affect what the other crew are doing. And if you can slip out like that, like the Leander crew have done at the top of your screen, it maybe starts putting a bit of doubt in the Oxford crew, and they might have to say, hold on, let's keep the rate up, or either change down to a lower cog and let's start really powering along. What are they going to do here?
So the Leander crew just letting the boat run out a little bit more. There's the 20-year-old Ewan Hadfield in the stroke seat. Behind him you can see James Vogel and Dan Graham, and then James Stanhope, who we've talked to up in the bows. It's not terminal for the men from Oxford University. You know, if they can stop the drift that Leander Club are having. They just look to be just allowing that boat to come under them a little bit more at the front end of the stroke, the men from Leander Club. Felix Drinkel there, the stroke of Oxford, 22 years of age, had a fantastic result 2 or 3 years ago in the GB men's pairs trials. He might have even won it or come second, but a real talent. Rode in the 5 seat of the under 23-8 that won. Tobias Schroeder behind him rode in the 4 seat. And the bowman Joshua Bozeman Jones anchored it in the 7 seat, now rowing in the bow. So, I mean, these guys have got an under 23 gold medal, and they are a stacked unit with Martin Barasco, the Canadian, in the 2 seat.
Absolutely, I thought they'd be more in the race at this point, given that, and watched them early on the regatta, but can they hold on? The one thing they've got going for them is you're rowing into a headwind, guys, so stick with it.
Well, I think with Drinkel, you do get a really nice rhythm off the back end. You know, there's no sort of smack of the body in the blade into the body in the finish. It's nice and easy around the back turn. Should let that boat run on.
Looks very good indeed, but they're saying 2 lengths down on this Leander crew, who are still up at rate, still being aggressive. Good shot with the blades there.
Yeah, they look nice and easy coming out forwards. Nice, easy, natural length. Ewan Hatfield's 191 centimetres, 191, 1 metre 91. Tall man, 1 metre 94. James Vogel behind him, 1 metre 96. Daniel Graham, and the little shrimp in the bows is James Stanhope. Sorry if you're listening, Richard or Rachel, mum and dad. He's a pretty muscular lad, actually, James. 3 times Henley winner.
And that experience on this such an odd course for rowers goes a long way.
Yeah. It's interesting, you know, because James Stanhope, he's never quite made that through into the GB trials. You would have thought with his 3 times Henley win and so forth. I mean, he's rowing at Leander at the moment, but he's still yet to make the breakthrough. Maybe it's going to be the Paris Olympiad, the time where the Leander bowman starts to get through into the under, well, it's probably too old for the under 23s now, but educated at Hampton School and Oxford Brooks, steering a great course down the bank. What do you reckon to that Oxford course?
A good shot there from above, because the Leander crew steered a straight line, but the Oxford crew in the left of your picture here have just done a bit of a wiggle, and that is costing them precious speed. You want to go from A to B as quick as possible in a straight line, and if you're wiggling around, first of all, it's a bit of disruption on the hull, but you're actually covering more distance. So that rudder still correct their steering.
I just checked actually, it's Dan Graham in the 2-seat who's steering, which is an odd seat to steer from normally. You either want, your bow seat or your stroke seat to steer. Very occasionally you get 2 or 3 to steer, but Dan Graham, who's, one in front of James Stanley, the bowman, is pretty confident. He must know this reach so well, just to keep that metre and a half margin away from the booms. Oxford, it's a pretty forlorn hope now. Looking, you can see them heading towards us at the finish. They're running out of water to make anything happen. It's an aggressive style of rowing from Oxford, but it's just could just let that boat come to them a little bit more at the front end. Just needs a little bit of a longer stroke, but they're throwing everything into it now.
They absolutely are, and they've actually kept this distance relatively small. They start winding the line now. Now's the time to go, to put that slight bit of pressure on Leander, put them under pressure and see what they do. Yeah,
well, of course, we've seen Cox's Fours in this event, the Visitors Challenge Cup, hit the booms. I think that happened to Cal Berkeley.
Oh, classic race.
And they were racing Thames Rowing Club. They hit the booms at the end of the race, and Thames Rowing Club kept the pressure on and came through to win. Doesn't look like Leander are going to go anywhere near the booms in this race, I have to say.
They've made them work for it, though. The Leander crew haven't taken it down. They've not paddled at all. They're really pushing towards this finish line, and the Oxford crew doing a great show, doing exactly that, putting them under pressure. Here we go.
Yeah, Leander would have been absolutely fired up for this race, as would the men of Oxford University in dark blue. But coming through to the finish, it is the 4 men from Leander Club who take the semi-final of the Visitors Challenge Cup ahead of Oxford University Boat Club.
Take a look, Leander!